So for the past week or so, I've been absolutely jamming the hell out of Forza Horizon 6, and I must say that after 100%ing the game, getting all the collectibles and completing all the main races, I'm impressed. I think Playground Games have done a banger of a job here, and in this video I'm going to go over what I like, what they did right, and what I think they could potentially change in the future. And this is just my opinion, so please don't be offended by anything that I say in this video. And before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe, it really helps me out, it really shows you want more. And without any further ado, let's get into it. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm a huge fan of the Forza franchise, and Forza Horizon 1 and 2 have a very special place in my heart. So I was rooting for the team to deliver something that we really, really enjoyed and that we were actually going to spend a lot of time playing. Unlike Horizon 5, which kind of died out after a while and lost a lot of its player base due to just being repetitive and the map being pretty lifeless. I feel like Horizon 3 was the perfect blend of everything. It was the perfect amount of exploration mixed with non-repetitive races, mixed with the ability to set up festival sites and everything. It was just really fun, and I do believe that that's probably the best Horizon game to date. Well, at least until Horizon 6 came out. And I really feel like they took what made the first three Horizon games great, sprinkled a bit of Horizon 4 in there with the seasons and everything, and made the ultimate Horizon game. Mixed with the scenic views that Japan has to offer, all of the car culture that Japan has, toge races and everything, it all just fits so well and in such a well-designed map as well. So, I want to start off by talking about the races and the story and everything. This took me about 20 hours to complete, and it's basically just your run-of-the-mill cross-country races, road races, and off-road races, which involve buggies and utes and all that sort of stuff. These are all fun, but they can feel a little bit repetitive after a while. I mean, you are just really doing the same thing in a different location. It's not like anything major happens in these races. These are basically your filler between your main events, which you earn your points to get a new wristband, which I must say, the wristband system is back from Horizon 1, and it is very welcome. It does give you a sense of progression, and it does give you a clear direction of where you're trying to go in terms of the story races. So, it is a very welcome addition back to the Horizon series. Beyond these filler races, you've also got your main showcase events, which involve rallying around a rocket that's taking off, or racing a mech, or racing airplanes, or racing a certain opponent that's hyped up throughout the story, or racing to a new location. It's the same thing we've seen in previous games before, but this time it genuinely feels unique. Like something about racing a giant robot that shouldn't belong in a realistic racing game, but for some reason it does work really well here. I can't put my finger on it, but it does. So it is welcome as well, and it does add a bit of variety to what would otherwise be sort of like mundane, constantly doing the same sort of races over and over again. So it does break up the sort of repetitiveness and does feel quite fresh and quite unique at times. So just like the other Horizon games, you earn wristbands, and once you get to your gold wristband, you actually unlock a special island that is sort of in the bottom right corner of the map called Legend Island, and this basically has another racetrack, and it unlocks the Goliath, the Colossus, and a couple of other races which involve racing around the entire Horizon 6 map. And these are quite hard. They do range in difficulty based on what your difficulty is set to, but they are quite hard, and the AI is pretty unforgiving. So it's definitely an enjoyable experience and a good sort of in-game thing, but once you've done them, it's, you know, it is what it is. You just kind of finish them and that's it. There's no real sort of actual story to these races. But aside from the main story, there's a boatload of side things to do. You've got all of the speed traps, danger signs, etc., drift zones that were in the previous Horizon games as well. You've also got a job now. You can get a job as basically an Uber driver where you can drift a van around Tokyo City and deliver pizzas. I'm assuming they're pizzas in the box. This is actually pretty fun. It can get a bit repetitive, but for the 100% you have to go through and rank up 9 times to become the manager. So this was actually a pretty fun way to sort of break up the main races and just have a bit of fun here and there delivering pizzas and drifting a van around Tokyo City is, I must say, it's an experience, put it that way. You've also got the street racing that returns from, again, previous Forza games where you do nighttime street races and you race with traffic enabled and everything, so you can sort of crash into other people and that. This is fun as well, and this sort of adds to the progression skill tree, or the exploration skill tree, which basically, the more you explore, the more you smash your danger signs, the more you smash your bonus boards, the more you smash the mascots, which are another collectible this time around. You earn XP for this, and there's 7 levels for each. There's 7 levels for the Horizon Festival, which is your wristbands, and there's 7 levels for exploration, which is basically finding everything on the map, finding your barn finds, treasure cars, treasure chests, bonus boards, mascots. These all took me about 30 hours to complete, so there is a little bit of exploration here too. 30 hours on top of the main story, so there's definitely a fair bit of exploration to do here, and I still haven't finished all of the street races. I've only finished the collectibles and the main races, as well as a couple of other sort of stories, which I'll get into now. So there are also multiple storylines. There's a Discover Japan storyline where you drive around with a set amount of characters and they show you different locations, and then you'll get challenges in these to race to a certain location or get a certain amount of drift points while you're driving somewhere, or get a certain amount of skill points, or get there in a certain time. And these add to your overall progression at the end of the mission, and once you finish these missions you earn stars 1, 2 or 3, kind of like your little events like speed traps and that, and they offer their own little storylines. So the better you do, the more chapters you can unlock, and it basically gives you a mini storyline. So there's one for exploring Japan. There's also a drifting one, which is like a drift storyline where you basically go through and become a pro drifter, which is pretty fitting considering it's based in Tokyo. And then there's another one for toge races and modifying cars and everything. So there's a lot to do here, and I would say upwards of 100 plus hours if you try to do everything. I personally have done all the collectibles and everything, as I've said, but I haven't actually finished all of the other stuff like the midnight races and everything as well. So there's a lot to do here, and I've currently got about 50 hours on it. So I can imagine there'd be another 50 to 70 to complete everything, and that, to me, for the price of the game, is a damn good deal. So onto the car roster. So there's about 550 cars in the game at the moment. There's a couple more if you buy the DLCs, and then there's about 14 or 15 coming in a car pass that's just been added, which I haven't purchased yet, but I will. I've purchased the expansion passes and everything because I'm really looking forward to those when they come out, but they'll be a while, I'd say. But yes, there are 2 expansion passes coming out for this game, so even if you finish everything, there will be more. And Horizon has a very special place in my heart. I do plan on going back and 100%ing all of these games, which I will do a playthrough for on the channel. But I've 100% Forza Horizon 6. I'm going to finish everything else, then go back to Horizon 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll do 5 last, because 5 was the one I did most recently, and I really need a break from that, because I've definitely got fatigue from Horizon 5. So look forward to that as well. That will be coming out soon, and I will do sort of a retrospective on all of those as well. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in the near future as well. But yeah, so there's 550 cars. There's a big lineup here, and I mean, to be fair, I've only collected 300 or 400 of the 550. So yeah, there's a lot more to do. It didn't really phase me, and I didn't really feel like going through and collecting them again. Like Horizon 5 and 4 maybe. You can buy car passes, which basically means you go to the auto show and you can buy a car without spending your in-game money. There's also 9 houses to purchase, which I do think they all offer their own variety in location and everything as well. I personally run the Japan house, the Tokyo City house, because that's my go-to anyway. But all of these houses, including the estate, which is a massive field with a house on it that you get given very, very early on in the game, you can basically build whatever you want. You can build a city, you can build a mall, you can build a racetrack. The choice is yours, and their options and opportunities are endless in what you want to build there. But there are quite a few, and one very unique feature that Horizon 6 does different to all the rest of them is being able to build your own garage. And you can also share these designs online. I actually have a few downloaded. You can showcase cars, up to 4 or 5 cars of your choosing. You can showcase them in your garage, and other people can visit your garage and come in and walk around and have a look. Some of these designs are really cool, and I recommend, if any of you guys are playing this, to go onto the community manager, the design manager, and actually have a look and see what other people have made, because they have made some absolute bangers. And I've also made my own, but I haven't finished it yet, so I won't show it on the video. But it's really fun, and I did have an awesome time creating my own garage, putting hoists in and everything, and just, yeah, really enjoying myself. The car meets and everything for online have also returned, so you can drive around and park up at set locations and have car meets, look at other people's cars. You can challenge people to drag races and that at these car meets as well. And generally, the whole consensus of the online to Forza Horizon 6 is the same as it's always been through to Horizon 2. It's the same sort of thing. You can convoy up, you go to car meets, you can do drag racing, you can do whatever you want. There's also Horizon Play, which you can go into preset races and race other people at random. You load in, choose your car, and then basically choose whether you want to do a toge race or a circuit race or an off-road race or whatever. The choice is yours, and there is a lot of options here. There is also a separate skill tree and XP to be earned for doing Horizon Play, which you also need to do if you want to get 100% achievements. So you need to reach level 100, which doesn't take too long. It took me about 2 days to get to level 10, so I'm assuming it'll take about 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks to get to level 100 if you do a couple of races every day. They can be quite long. They can take up to about 20 minutes to finish each one, so be prepared to have snacks and stuff ready, because there'll be no time to get up. It'll load you straight into that race, into the next race once you finish that race. So overall, the online is fun. I don't personally play online too much in the Horizon games. I will if there's achievements that require it, because I am an achievement hunter and I try to get all the achievements, which is another reason why I want to go back and play the earlier ones as well, is to try and finish what I didn't finish back in the day. And I'm even going to play the Xbox 360 port of Horizon 2, because, believe it or not, that has a lot of sentimental value to me, that one. Even though it's weird and it's not a great port, back in the day when I was a young kid and that released, I didn't have an Xbox One, and that's all I could do was play Horizon 2. I wanted Horizon 2 and I didn't have an Xbox One, so I bought it on 360 and played it on 360, and it was an experience, I tell you that. But that is for another video. I will do a whole video on that port of the game. Next up, I want to take a little bit of time to talk about the map, because man, oh man, have they done a good job here. The map is absolutely phenomenal. Tokyo City genuinely feels like it's alive. You can drive down the alleyways and see all the markets and everything. You can take... Honestly, this game sometimes is just a photo simulator, because the amount of times I was stopping and going into photo mode and taking screenshots just because of how good the map looks, and especially the aesthetic with your car in there. I took a couple of screenshots and showed people, and they believed it was real. They didn't even know it was a screenshot from a game. They thought it was actually real. That's how good this game can look. So the map is absolutely phenomenal. You can go all the way from Tokyo City to Mount Fuji, and in between you can go through farmland, you'll go through small towns, you'll go through racetracks, airports. You can go around the beaches and see all the coastline and the islands and fishing boats and everything. Honestly, the map is just incredible, and it reminds me a lot of Horizon 3's Australia, where they just put so much effort into building the map. And I remember reading online that they actually sent people out to photograph all the rocks and everything so they could make the textures, and they photographed the skybox, and then they actually sent like probes and drones and everything up to map real weather data so they could get real weather information for the map. And then they even signed a contract with the developers that were making Sea of Thieves so they could use realistic water physics. I mean, it's a Forza game, you're never going to go in the water, you know, but they went to that extent to model the water by using a game's water physics that is focused on ocean. So they've done such a good job here, and I think that they need to be commended for that alone, because that is absolutely brilliant what they've done with the map and the setting, and it does make you genuinely feel like I could sit here with a steering wheel and drive around Japan and not even race. I could just cruise around and get completely immersed in it, because it is honestly so immersive. The leaves falling out of the trees, the puddles that form when it's raining. It's honestly spot on, and I can't fault the setting at all. They've done a bloody good job here. Honestly, it reminds me. I've never been to Japan. I've seen photos of Japan. I've seen videos of Japan. I will go to Japan one day. That is one of my dream places to go. But for the time being, I've never been there, and I can tell you for a fact that I felt like I was there based on videos and photos I've seen in the past. I felt like I was actually there exploring Japan in a place where most of these cars came from. So that's pretty cool to see. There's also wildlife and stuff scattered around the map. You can't hit them, obviously. It's like previous games in that regard too, but you're going to find cattle, sheep, and all of those kind of animals around, and it's just nice to see the world actually feeling alive and having animals and wildlife around. And yeah, I must say, the game just had me addicted, honestly. I couldn't get off it. I've been playing it every day after work for the last week since release day, and I just can't stop playing it. It's honestly so much fun, and it is the most fun I've had in a Forza game in a very long time too. Absolutely loved Horizon 1, 2 and 3. 3 was probably is on the fence as still being my favourite, but I'd say it's on par with Horizon 6. 4 was great. 5 was good. I'm not going to say it was bad because I don't think it was a bad game. It was just let down by sort of an empty feeling map or a lifeless map, which is what I see a lot of people describe it as online. So Horizon 6 is a massive breath of fresh air, and anyone who's into cars like I am and you want to play a good racing game, give this a go. Honestly, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I know the price is on the steeper side, and if you buy the premium edition, it's even more expensive. It's about $200. I think it's worth the price, and I think you're going to get well worth your money out of it. I like to look at things like your hourly pay mixed divided by or times how many hours you're going to play it for. So if I was making $40 an hour and I bought this game for $200, that's 5 hours worth of work. And if I get 50 to 100 hours out of the game, well, I've well passed that 4 or 5 hours of work. So I think that everyone should give this a go, and I don't think anyone will be disappointed. People are probably still going to prefer earlier games, like I prefer Horizon 3. That's just how it is, but Horizon 3's got a very special place in my heart, and it's very nostalgic. Whereas Horizon 5, yeah, bit down. Horizon 6, I think, is very much on par, if not better, than all the previous games. So definitely check this game out. It is absolutely banging, and even the soundtrack, I can't show any footage of that in the video because it's obviously copyright, but even the soundtrack's banging, as it always has been in all the Horizon games. So definitely check it out. I definitely recommend it, and keep your eyes peeled for the new videos of the earlier games being 100% and retrospectives of them, because I will review the whole Horizon series, and I look forward to doing so. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've liked it, please hit that like button again. Please subscribe. It really helps me out. Really shows you want more. I'm currently in the process of upgrading my equipment, so everything should be a lot better and sound better and look better. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, and goodbye for now.